Right, so just go to a nice comfortable seat. Have your palms facing up, and as always, we just tune in with a couple of breaths. So I tend to sit towards the front edge of the chair, just so my spine stays nice and upright. The sitting bones are rooting into the earth, and the crown of the head is reaching up to the sky. Palms are on top of one another, and just take a couple of deep breaths. Now we're going to bet at this point that the breath is just into the chest, the external bone. So I'm trying to see if we can direct the breath to go lower into the ribs, perhaps lower into the belly, and also sideways into the ribs, and also into the back. Our adrenal glands are at the back, majority of our lungs are at the back, so really trying to see if we can expand that into the more. One more breath. Exhale if need be for an open mouth. Good. Now let's move from here. Take your feet a little wider, maybe even point the toes out. Bring the hands onto the knees, nice upright spine. Send the chest forward, breathing in. And exhale, round and send the chest back. So think with the chest here, moving forward. Slight tap of the tail under so it's not all in the lower back. And exhale, rounding. In as you arch it, like someone's got a fish hook attached to the front of your sternum and they're pulling it forward. And now they're pulling you back. Last two. That looks good. Yes, nice job everybody. Last one. Alright, and slowly come back to center. So next time you're all the way forward, just pause here and see if you can reach the arms back. So here, try not to overextend through your lower back. Tuck the tail under slightly. We keep sending the chest forward and send the arms back, like, you know, I call this the Titanic shape, right? Like you figure in at the top of the front of the ship, hopefully with much better results. And slowly bring the hands all the way down. Let's just give the shoulders a couple of rolls. So that's your flexion extension. Let's go into a little bit of a side bending. Your feet are parallel for this one. You can hold to the underside of the chair. You're going to reach one arm up, breathing in, and really ground through that sitting bone before you go up and over. And come back to center, reverse. Lift up. I ground through the sitting bone. I really think up and over, kind of like a giant bird opening a wing here to the side. Nice, everybody. Let's go once more each way. And over. And one more time. Reaching up, stretching through the intercostal muscles in the ribs and the side of the waist. These guys love a bit of a stretch. Alright. And then from here, last thing we do is the twist. So let's start with both arms floating up, drop the shoulders down away from the ears. You're going to twist over to your right. Now, as you're twisting, gaze down at the knees and make sure they're equal kind of length, so one isn't poking forward ahead of the other. You're going to bring your left hand down at the knee, right hand can go on the back of the chair, or you can go onto your back. If you want to, you can bind it over the opposite hip and gaze backwards here. So think width across the collarbones from shoulder to shoulder, breathing in as you lengthen, exhale as you turn. Nice job, 2 more breaths. Twisting, driving the toxins out of the system. And then on the next inhalation, slowly come back to center. Let's reverse that, breathing in. Now, as you exhale, you twist again, just double check that the knees are the same level. Either this hand goes into the back of the chair, which is a little easier, your back, or the opposite hip, which is a little tougher. Just disregard me looking back behind you because I need to see you. You guys need to think over that left shoulder. Yeah, awesome. 2 more breaths. Wide collarbones. From shoulder to shoulder, big smile. And on the next exhale, slowly come back to center. Alright, so that's your spinal movement. Let's do a little bit of the neck movement here. So you're going to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. I'd like you to imagine that you have a towel squeezing underneath each armpit. So keep that downward pressure. Right, that would very much help with any neck tension that you might have. And dropping the chin through the chest and here. Keep the towels. Roll the right ear to right shoulder. Pause. Now, if this feels good, you're going to go all the way back around. But the trick to doing this move is to do this slowly. If you go fast, you lose that tension. Good. Keep the towels. You're going to drop the left ear to left shoulder. Breathing in. Exhale. Circle job. Now let's go once more each way. Right, so keep that downward tension in the armpits, which is quite easy to lose. And the last one. And slowly come back to center. Okay, now from here we're going to warm up a little bit more into the hips and the knees. We're going to go for the ups and downs, right? So you're going to reach the arms forward. Think of your body going straight up rather than forward and up. Forward and up is a little easier. So stand up and also back down. And again, up and down. And up and down. If it's too easy, hover just off the chair. If it's too easy still, come up onto the tippy toes. Stay there. Good. And also here, if you'd like to, you're going to need to move the chair out of the way for this one. You don't have to stop at 90. You can squat down deeper. Now, if that hurts your knees, definitely back off. But if it feels good, right, with the muscles are only as strong as the range of motion that we use them in, so definitely use those hip flexors. Awesome, and last one. All right, come all the way up into the tippy toes, reach the arms up, possibly gaze upwards, squeeze your inner thigh muscles together, and then lower the arms all the way down. All right, now give the legs a bit of a shake. Now, and from here we're going to do a couple of standing poses like we normally do. So make sure there's room behind you. So I'm just going to walk out of this. I'm just going to move this out of the way so I have more room. Okay, now from here, from the standing position, make sure your feet are hip width apart, so as wide as your head, and reach the crown of the head forward. Hands onto the hips. You're going to pick up your right leg and step it all the way back. If this feels somewhat too wobbly, take the feet wider, like they are wider than on train tracks. Strong through that back heel. Bend through the right knee, squeeze the right buttock, and open through the front of the hip. You should really feel a nice opening here through the front. If all of that is true, you're going to cactus shape the arms, and you're going to send the chest forward and up. Breathing in, breathing in, breathing in. So don't think about back bending, think about sending this chest forward and up, forward and up, forward and up, breathing in. And exhale, you're going to reach the arms forward, straighten through the left leg, and fall. Now if your hands don't touch the floor, don't stress. Keep sending the crown of the head forward. The arms can reach back. They can be resting on your thighs, also pyramid pose. Right hip goes forward, the left hip goes back. So as arch nemesis pose. Not a big fan of this one. 2 more breaths. Tight hamstrings. If you're with me, if you're a runner, defo's going to hurt, right? So you're going to bend that left knee, and we're going to come up, and we're going to do this one more time, a little faster this time around. Breathing in, squeeze through that right hip, open through the arms, open through the chest, and exhale, fold all the way forward. But keep reaching the crown of the head forward so your spine is nice and long. Now this time around, if you're a little bit more open, you can fold your chest over the thigh, but don't stress if it doesn't happen. It's going to come day by day. 2 more breaths. Okay, now from here, let's parallel the spine to the floor. And you can keep your left hand down on the floor and reach your right arm up. So we're going into reverse or twisted triangle. All right, so for this one, send that left hip forward and the right hip back. I got my hands the wrong way around, but you guys know what I mean, right? So right hand down, left arm up. Good. 2 more breaths. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Good, and let's twist the other way. So you're going to bring the hand. Now this time around on the outside of the foot, and you're going to reach the arm up and away. So pardon my back here for a second, but I think it's important for you guys to see. I'm sending this right hip forward and left hip back. Nice. Now, if you'd like to, you can bind this hand over your back thigh. Good. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Sweet. Now let's bend that left knee, come all the way up. Keep the arms overhead from the power of the back leg. Step in, come straight into chest and bend the knees. Come up onto the tippy toes if you want more. Couple more breaths. Lots and lots of mobility in the legs, which is super important to take out any stress in the lower back, right? Good. And from here, just straighten the legs. Come to stand up. Give the legs a bit of a shake. That's rocking. Absolutely fantastic. So nice long sequence. Now let's do that same thing on the other side. So standing nice and upright. Find the feet. Ground through the feet. Kind of sense of calm as well here. So it's not a big panic and a big rush. We have enough of that. Step your left leg all the way back, far as you can. Again, if this feels somewhat wonky, take your feet wider. Right? Keep a generous bend in the knee. Find your left buttock, give it a good squeeze, like 70-80%. elongate from this one straight or curved line rather, and bring the arms out into that cactus shape. Very nice. Open through the chest. Chest goes forward and up, forward and up. Open and breathe, 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 breathe in. And exhale, straighten or semi-straighten the leg. You can bring the hands down, send the right hip back and the left hip forward. Sweet, now let's do this one more time, a little bit faster. Bending the knee, breathing in, up you come with the arms, forward and up with the chest open. Have your shoulder blades maybe possibly touching behind you. Nice long neck. Exhale as you fold. Now keep that sense of lengthening, right? That's super important so we don't compress the lower back. But if that's true still and you can keep the long spine, then you're going to fold a little bit further forward. Now I'm tighter here in the right side, so you can see I'm not folding down quite so much, which is totally okay. Just keep sending that right hip back and the left hip forward. Now from this position, you're going to keep your left hand down, you're going to float your right arm up again, just pardon my back, but just pay particular attention to the hips, make sure they're not doing that, they're not coming out of alignment, right? So the hips are very much staying square here, really twisting through the spine. And then let's reverse that. Right hand comes down to the outer edge of the foot, left arm reaches up. So we triangulate both ways. I know this is tough in the hamstrings. If your legs are shaking, you have plenty of company, myself included. And then you're going to bring the hands all the way down. You're going to semi-bend that right knee, come all the way up, and then step forward and just give the legs a shake on the spine. All right, fantastic. Now the legs are a little bit warmer, or a lot warmer, the spine is a lot warmer. We're going to try some standing balances. So let's just start here with the tree, and then I want us to progress to something quite funky today. So let's stand on your right, so mirroring you. You can take your left knee out to the side. The weight transitions slightly, right, but it's not a hip poking out to the side. You can stay here. If it feels good, you can lift that left foot high. As long as it's not resting up against the knee itself, you can go all the way up to the thigh. With hands to the heart. Find one focal point to breathe in and look at, and ideally not me, because that should be something that's not moving. Good, and if it feels good on the next in-breath, you're going to reach the arms up and overhead and possibly open them out to the sides. Good, now let's do two more, just like that. Breathing in, arms go through the center of the body. Exhale. Good, and last one, fantastic training for the arches of the feet, yes. For the core muscles, yes, but also it's a mentally really, really nice pose to do, a lot of focus. Good, now keep the hands at your heart and bring that left knee forward now. Okay, we've got nice loose hamstrings, so from this position, keep your right hand where it is. Peace fingers or hook round your big toe. Don't worry about the legs straightening too much. Just see if you can maybe semi-straighten that left leg forward. Now, it is more important to keep an upright spine than a straight leg, so if you feel like you're leaning backwards, don't straighten the leg anymore. But if it straightens, completely good for you. And if it doesn't, it's going to come day by day. Don't worry about that. Good. And from here, step all the way down. Give the legs a bit of a shake. So this right leg should be on fire, right? That right here. And that's good because we're really looking to strengthen these muscles in the outer area of the hip. So we open the front of the hip so we don't end up in this position all the time because we sit like this, right? So let's do the other side. So standing on the left, start with our tree. There's a light transition of weight and spread out through the toes. The right foot goes to a comfortable level. Press it up against the inner thigh and the inner thigh in. So it's like a tug of war between the foot and the thigh. Hands come to your heart. Nice long breaths. Possibly the arms travel up and out to the sides. Nice, find something to look at. Breathe in and out. A static point somewhere past, kind of towards your horizon. Awesome. Good. And slowly come back to the center. Keep that left hand where it is. Your right wrist fingers around the toe. Nice and upright here through the spine. And you're looking to possibly straighten the leg. Don't get too hung up on how straight the leg is, right? It's quite challenging here to do both straight legs and to stand upright. And that's the whole point, right? A couple more breaths. Fall out, just go back in nice and slowly. And and then stand all the way down and give the legs a bit of a shake. Okay, very nice. Now from here we're going to try a pose, which is also a balancing pose, which we haven't tried before, which is called floating half moon. So have a little, just a little look first. So we're going to have our standing on the right leg, and we're going to do this one. So this one we've done before, it's your warrior three. I'm keeping my right knee bent. I'm reaching the left leg back, and I'm purposely going to turn away from you, which I do apologize. I'm going to bring my right hand down and float the left arm up. So you should be able to see that I'm looking down here. Only if I'm feeling super stable, I may be able to turn the gaze. Please don't fall onto anything with this one, because this is quite tricky. Yay, your turn. Nice. That's it, sweet. And let's just change sides. So from here, standing on the left. Now you're gonna keep the bend in the knee. So you want to try and get to this kind of vertical-ish shape. And then bring the hand down, elongate. And I'm gazing down for as long as I need to, because the moment I transition this gaze to the side, that's when it becomes difficult. And come to stand all the way up. All right. Nice job. Okay, and from here we're going to try a little bit of a back bend, and then we're going to combine the two together. This one's tricky, right? Because it's in that coronal plane. It's not where we move forward and back. It's kind of moving sideways, right? Now let's try this one. This is the dancers. You would have seen this pose if you Google yoga, and that comes up immediately. So I'm going to stand on my right. I'm going to see if I can catch my left foot behind me like this. Any signal in the knee at all, please just back out of it, right? So you're going to kick the foot back. I'm going to keep sending the hip forward. I'm going to reach this arm up and over and keep kicking back with the leg. Keep kicking back with the leg. Don't even worry about going down. And then from here, if you're feeling good, you can possibly reach the hand away from the foot. Keep reaching this hip forward as much as possible. Yay, nice, fantastic. So it's a balance and a back bend, a little bit of everything, and then come to stand. Give the legs a shake, and then change sides. Sweet. So again, for all the standing poses, if you need to keep the standing knee bent, that's okay, that's a good thing. So kick it back, get into the shape where you feel the opening through the entire front of the body, the chest, shoulders, and then possibly from here, I will straighten the leg, but don't sacrifice the sensation of the opening through the front of the body for the shape that you think that is correct, right? Okay, and then slowly back out of this and give the legs a shake. Okay, now you can do this one more time, and we can combine the two poses again. I'm going to kind of turn my back towards you, I think you can see that better from the back. So you can do this one more time, but what I'm about to suggest is a bit off, right? So, or you can try this. So we did that floating half moon. For this one, keep looking down, especially if you haven't done this before. You can bend the knee and catch that back foot. Now, if this hurts your knee, just place the hand down onto your lower back and open here through the back. So you can hope you guys see that there's a back bend happening, and you may be able to hold on to this foot also. Yeah, this is your sugar cane. Yeah, nice. If you trip, if you fall, don't feel bad. Yeah, just go back slowly into it. So start with this shape. Slowly bring the hand down. Open, keep gazing down. Keep that sense of opening through the front of the body. And slowly placing step all the way down. Yay, nice, fantastic. Okay, and let's come all the way, so that's kind of our grand finale. Fantastic pose, because balance means core work, right? Front, back, and side. You've got opening here through the chest, through the hip, through the shoulders. Yeah, pretty cool pose. Fantastic for Instagram also. Let's bring a chair in. Okay, now let's come to sit now. And we're just gonna open, because the legs worked really hard, right? So we're just gonna do a little bit of opening in the hip. As always with this one, we're really looking for a stretch with no sensation in the knee. So you're gonna keep your right foot where it is. I'm gonna cross my left ankle over the knee. Now, if this is too hard, I'm gonna cross it lower, right? If this is too easy and I'm not actually feeling the stretch here, flex the toes towards the knee, belly button in, and as you exhale, fold. If you feel a pull in the back here, back up, it's not worth it. Good. If you want more, the foot that's on the ground, come onto the tippy toes of that foot, that will really increase the stretch. Good. So the alternative to leaning forward is to actually bring this leg up. So if you have the sensation in the back and you're doing this, you can actually bring that leg up. But I beg of you, keep flexing the toes towards the knee, right? Because otherwise that will hurt the knee. Yeah, and then slowly back up. Stretch both legs in front of you, give them a bit of a shake. And we go to the opposite side. Now, really like this pose, the only thing here is to make sure that the knee is protected, right? So toes towards the knee, nice and upright through the spine. Choose your level of invasion, right? So you're leaning forward, possibly. Maybe you're going to cradle the foot and bring it in, or maybe you're feeling enough stretch right here. So just choose whatever feels good. Yeah, that looks great. That's great. Just a couple of breaths, long spine here. Crown of the head reaches away from the tailbone. Awesome. And then slowly all the way back. And again, give the legs a bit of a shake. So whenever we do a lot of either sitting down or a lot of running around, a lot of standing, this guy's always going to be quite tight and possibly hurt, right? Which we don't want. Okay, nice. And from here, the final bit, you can sink a little deeper into the chair because this is going to be your wrist and your shoulder mobility. So reach the arms out to the side. We've done this one before, like pressing the walls away. Flex through the wrists like this. And then you're going to choose a hand to look at. I'm looking at my right. And we're going to do the same thing on both hands. So you can fold the pinky in, which doesn't really happen for me. Now the ring finger on both hands, middle finger, index finger and thumb. Now we have a fist. You're going to drop that fist down and you're going to rotate nice and slowly. And then rotate the other way. Alright, I'm going to do this one more time to the other side. So flex open, gaze over to the opposite direction, folding the pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and thumb, and then drop down that fist, and then just rotate. Yay! And rotate the other way. And release any potential tension in the wrist, forearms, which is relevant for all of us because mobile phone, laptop, and all sorts. Okay, and give the hands a shake. Give the shoulders a couple of rolls. And a couple of rolls in the other direction. This is a little counterintuitive typically. We think we do this all the time anyway, but still try and move the shoulders in this direction. Okay, and we're just going to do a little bit of a camel pose here. So kind of finish with a touch of a back bend to give us a bit more energy. So walk towards the front edge of the chair. Now for this one, you can come up onto the tippy toes and tuck your tail under, so keep your back long. So like all of those back bendy poses, think the chest going forward and up. Bring the hands back behind you. Chest goes forward and up, forward and up, forward and up. And maybe eventually you'll be gazing upwards. If you'd like more, you can bend your elbows here. If that hurts your lower back at all, back up. Have a sense of opening through the chest. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Slowly reach your nose forward. Very, very gently come back up. Super. Now this should feel like you just had an espresso, you know what I mean? It's a massive surge of energy. Okay, and the final one, we're just going to do a little bit of a neck stretch. So this one, paramount, what actually happens with the other hand. So I'm going to press my right hand into this imaginary floor here. If your chair is wide enough, you can actually press it into the side of the chair. Left hand goes on the outer edge of the head where your ear is. And really important, please don't pull. Instead, push your head into the arm and press this other hand down. So if this worked, you should really feel a nice stretch there. If you do want more, drop the chin a little bit towards the chest. Just a touch. Feel a nice stretch here, all the way to the side of the neck. Be gentle with them, they're quite flat muscles and quite sensitive. And then let's slowly reach the nose forward a little bit. I'm exaggerating this slightly, and slowly come out and change sides. And they're actually not really used to working that much. So this hand that you cannot see is pressing down into the imaginary wall or floor. Elongate through the spine. It's almost always up and over. Now I'm fighting my hand by pushing the head into it. the stabilizing muscles, they're on all day. So when we go to stretch them or work them, it generally feels quite intense. So drop the chin to the chest just a little. Stay in the pose. Just for 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Now reach the nose forward slightly and come out, just so you don't kind of feel like you energizing the muscles that you just stretched. Okay, and then from here, just come into a nice upright seat, and again towards the front edge of the chair. I'm going to finish where we started. So your feet are hip width apart. Your palms can be resting, facing up, or you can rest them down on the knees. Close your eyes, or just rest the gaze, look at one thing, so we don't take all the information in. Just see if we can draw those 3 big breaths again: front, lower, sides, and back. Breathe in. Exhale completely. See your open mouth. Last 2 breaths. For your breath to return to its normal, natural state. There's no rush to get there. And let's reach the arms up and overhead, breathing in. You can gaze up towards the hands. You can also interlace the fingers like this and reach them up. And now very slowly separate through the fingers. Stretch the arms out. And bring the hands all the way down. So that's it.